things to think about, and these are all going to like pilot shit, right? Like these are all the things you need to think about. Is like, what is my mission end to end? And that's something that I ran into trouble. So years ago, I was flying a Lear 31 into Spruce Creek, Florida. And everything was great getting in, and I was like on it. I had just the right amount of fuel, all my numbers worked out, and like I just dropped it on in there, and it was great. 4,000 feet, this grass strip or this strip.
Yeah.
And my dumbass, I didn't think about how much fuel I needed to get out to get home. So I had to take off without the passengers, reposition to get fuel, and then leave out of there. Yep. Because I didn't think about, like, I was like, oh, I can get in. Didn't think about, I knew getting, I thought about it all. Yes. But I didn't think about, there were elements that I didn't think about. Let's just leave it at that.
Wait, so you had not enough fuel?
I couldn't take enough fuel to get out of there and get all the way home.
So you had to make a stop.
Mm-hmm.
So you flew with just yourself and got fuel and then came back on the passengers.
That was a proposition I posed to the passengers. What would be the lesser of two evils for you guys?
Yeah.
Just meet us at the other airport. Because then I figured it out early enough. I'm like, it was an inconvenience to them.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was more of a, you can meet us at this airport instead of coming to this airport.
Yeah.
To leave from there, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the airport we always went to before.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's hard for me to repackage it in a way that makes it seem a little bit better, but it was just like, we can't possibly take on enough fuel now with all of you to get all the way home.
Because it's too short.
Because it's too short.
Yeah.
If we got the fuel we needed, we wouldn't have the numbers to take off there.
Yeah.
So I just told them.
Who screwed up? You or?
It was me. 100% me. 100% me.
Well, who scheduled you into that airport?
It was a combination of three people: the owner, me, and my boss. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, we can do it. We can get in there. I didn't think about like how much we were going to weigh. How much
fuel you'd need to get out.
And another thing is too is the time of day, which this kind of comes full circle. If it was 10 degrees colder, there are times we go to airports where it's like, if it's 16 degrees Celsius, it'll work. 17 degrees, overweight.
Yeah.
When we run the numbers.
Yeah.
It's very
easiest thing to do is just not run the numbers.
Could be. And would it go? Yeah. But the problem is, what we have to worry about is you need to get all the way up to the speed where you would continue to take off, and the engine could fail right 1 knot prior to that speed, and you need to be able to stop on the runway that's remaining.
Yeah.
Wow. That's where the issue is that high speed reject of the takeoff.
Yeah.
That's where our most critical numbers are. I can't. Rob, I don't know what you got going on there, bud, but it's not working.
Yeah, nobody can read that anymore. Good job. Good job. Stand by.
Here we are, just.
So you have to be able to stop if you abort a takeoff.
Yep. We have a speed up to which we have to abort for a malfunction.
Yeah.
We have to not abort, reject the takeoff. Okay.
Yeah.
And after that speed, you continue the takeoff.
Yeah.
And so if those two speeds equal the speed at which we have enough to stop on versus the speed at which the engine can fail and we continue to take off, if those two speeds match, people have heard this, is called balanced field length. It's the same amount of runway required whether you stop or you continue. It's balanced. They're balanced. Yeah. And so in this case, we would not meet balanced field length at all. Way out there, doesn't really need talked about, but you need to think about when you're trying to think about a mission, we're maybe going more in depth than people may want us to see or want us to get into here. But like if you're trying to talk about your mission, it's important for us to know these things. We now know he needs to haul maybe a lot more fuel than what that suggests because he can't get fuel at his destination. So we just need to think about those things.
According to Wikipedia, the Cessna 177 Cardinal has a range of 604 nautical miles.
Okay, so we said 225. So that's
450.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 450. 450.
You could do it.
Cardinal?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's got that range once you have.
You try it.
1,100
You
pounds.
try it. Let me know. So think about this though. You're taking off from that field, the destination field, with less than with that's making you think more than half tanks.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one thing to see that number there and like to live with that. It's like, okay, I know if I do everything right, I have 600 miles of range. And it's like, okay, so I have 150 extra. Man.
And that's, I mean, that'd be pushing it. I doubt you in a real world environment have that much extra for that flight.
No, any headwind at all. It just, yeah. I mean,